how to use a slip trainer safely for the first time with your client. So first of all, before you get somebody on the slip trainer, it's best if you try it yourself. So get in a harness, try it out, see what they're going to experience before you put that same experience on your client or patient. So from a standpoint of stabilizing it before they get on, obviously you want somebody in the harness before you do any slip training. They need to be in a harness to do this safely. In this case, we have it on a rail system. So the easiest way to stabilize the slip trainer to get on and off is to place your foot on the bottom edge of the slip trainer and just pull it into your hip and into your foot, and now it should be very stable. Ask your client to step on the slip trainer. They can align themselves typically with the middle as indicated by the handles or the handhold cutouts on each side. You can come forward just a little bit further. Perfect, right there. Good. So let's just take you through some basics of slip training here and how to progress through this. So first of all, we want to start with just explaining to the client what you're going to do the first few times before you really get aggressive with this. So and just make sure they're having a good response and not overly stressed by the experience. So for what you're going to do is I'm going to do some small movements. I'm not trying to slip or trip you right now. I'm just going to move this board back and forth gently, and just so you can feel what that feels like. I want you to feel the pressure on the bottom of your feet, how that changes. Most of the movement we are hoping right now should just occur at your ankle. If you do have to take a step, just take a step, and that's fine to catch yourself. But I'm going to place this handle right against my hip and use my body to make these small adjustments and small movements. So let's just start with very small movements. So again, just the smaller movements, seeing just some ankle strategies happening here. Now we're going to ask to do a little larger movements. Now these larger movements, you might have to move your hips a little bit more and your trunk a little bit more to tolerate those. You probably won't need to take a step, but if you do, go ahead and take a step. So that's fine. Try to use just your hips and ankles. Good. So these are small, just 1 to 2 inch movements. Obviously I can adjust the acceleration by how fast I induce those movements. Now I'm going to give you some explanation of what we're going to do so you know what to expect. We're going to do actually what we call a trip, which is I'm going to slide you backwards so you have to take a forward step. Okay, so are you ready to do that? Yep. So I expect you to take a step forward with whatever leg feels most comfortable when you do that. I'm going to slide you back. So you ready? Good. We're going to do that again. I'm going to push you straight back and you're going to take a step forward. Good. If you want to, come forward a little bit for me on the board, because we're going to do a backward step. I'm going to give you a little more room in the back there, but that looks pretty good. I'm going to pull you towards me and you're going to take a backward step. Okay? You ready? Good. Step forward. We're going to do that again. I'm going to pull you forward towards me, and you're going to take a backward step. Good. Once you've kind of given them the experience, let's do a sideways step too. Go ahead and face the opposite direction. You're going to hold on. Anytime they're moving on the board, keep the board tight to your trunk. Since we're on a low pile carpet surface here, it's not going to be as reactive and easy to slip. When you're on a tile surface, this becomes much more critical to keep that stabilized against your hip, or place your foot against the board and anchor it to you anytime they're going to be moving on the board. So for sidestepping, you do want the feet close together. If they have the feet wide apart at all, they're not going to be able to need to take a step. So I'm going to pull you towards me, and you'll likely need to take a step with one of your feet either crossing over or taking a step with your right foot towards me. So, ready? Yeah. So, and now we're going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to pull towards me, and you're going to have to fall and catch yourself going towards the left. Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to stabilize. Go ahead and face me again. Now we're just going to go ahead and do some random slips and trips. I'm not going to tell you which way I'm going to do this. I could push or pull, different amplitude and speed, so you're just going to respond in kind, whatever you feel most comfortable doing. If you have to take a step, just take a step. Just going to do small ones. There you go. Good. Try to relax your arms a little bit in your trunk. Feel flexible. There you go. Good. Come on back to the middle. Good. So just now we're introducing those random types of slips and trips. I'm monitoring their experience here, seeing how stressed their face looks while they're doing this. Once they get more experience and I feel comfortable, I can have them turn around and face the other direction. Go ahead and face away from me. So now they're not going to get the signal of seeing me push to get that little bit of preparatory experience ahead of time to plan for the movement. So now they cannot see me at all, and then I can do the same process with them facing the other direction. Go ahead and turn back towards me. Another thing you can do if you want to more simulate slip and trip during walking is have them do a marching in place. So you can just start doing some marching in place, and then I can induce those slips and trips while they're doing a marching in place. Obviously, you can add things like foam to the board for your more advanced clients. You can do dual tasking, where oftentimes I'll have them hold a tray, maybe with a ball on the middle of the tray, trying to keep balance of that. You can have somebody tossing a ball to them while you're inducing the slips and trips to do dual tasking. Another thing, if you do have a rail system like this that has any length, you can simulate things like moving escalators and so forth. So I'm just going to have you stand there, and I'm going to push you backwards, and you're just going to try to keep your balance. So and then I'm going to stop. Good. And we're going to pull back and go this direction towards me. Keeping your balance. Good. And again, always just anchoring that handle to your hip or placing your foot against the board to stabilize it when you really need to if they start to lose their balance and you want to help them recover.